Pentecost. And I thought, you know, that's a general information thing that I think most Christians are confused about. And I thought, I need to spend a little bit of time on that as the question comes up. And where I went last week was I was basically showing that Christianity is Jewish. Christianity is Judaism. Uh, Jesus was a Jew, actually still is. I speak was as though but he's still alive. He's a Jew. All of the apostles are Jews. And the New Testament is a Jewish book. And so, and the question in the first century is Christianity begins, tens of thousands of Jews become Christians. Doesn't mean they're different. They viewed Christianity as the fulfillment of Judaism. And I did illustration here showing how, the plant and the flower. The flower is not different from the plant. The flower is a product of the plant, and the plant is Judaism, and Christianity, the Christian religion that Jesus began, is the fulfillment of that. It's the fruit of it. And so the question in the first century was, could Gentiles become Christians? We see that discussed in Acts chapter 15. Can Gentiles become Christians without becoming Jews? And that's the issue in the book of Galatians. Paul writes the book, and Galatia is a city up in modern day Turkey, or it's not a city; it was an area up in modern day Turkey, like the state of Oklahoma is an area. And so, evidently, some Jewish Christians went up there and began to teach them, the church, that they had to become Jews. They were Gentiles, teaching them that they had to become Jews. And if they wanted to become Christians, they had to become Jews first and be circumcised and commit to the law and all of that. And so Paul writes the letter of Galatians. It's an interesting letter, telling them that's not what Christianity is about. It's not about becoming under the old covenant. So I was thinking about that this morning. I was wondering why, if Israel, is Israel God's chosen people? Yeah. But it depends on how you define Israel. What if all of Israel had rejected Moses and the covenant of Moses? What would have happened? Right. Mhm. God would have had, and people who rejected the covenant, people of Israel, who, when they did reject the covenant, he had nations come in and fight them and tear down their homes and tear down their cities and destroy them. Okay. But eventually the leadership did accept the covenant through Moses. So where I'm going with that is it explains what happens then if Israel rejects the covenant through Jesus. Same thing. And we're seeing that today. Israel, the nation of Israel, is suffering terribly and has suffered terribly since the first century. And Jesus promised, someday we may study this in Matthew 24. He promised that because Israel has rejected the covenant, the second covenant, there's been two covenants, the second covenant, because Israel rejected the second covenant, the Romans were going to come in and tear down the temple and destroy the city and take Israel, the people, back off into captivity. And that's been happening ever since.